In today's Get Pregnant Now Quickie, we're going to be talking about a potential fertility saboteur, and that is how often you're having sex and its impact on conception. Welcome to the Finally Get Pregnant Naturally podcast, the podcast helping women identify the real reasons you haven't conceived or stayed pregnant so you and your partner can finally grow the family of your dreams. I'm your host, Dr. Katie Wood. Let's dive in, shall we? So in this episode, we're going to be breaking down why frequency of sex and not just timing matters more than you think, how too much or too little sex can actually sabotage your fertility without you realizing, and simple strategies to reduce stress and increase connection while trying to conceive. So let's unpack this together. If you're trying to conceive, then chances are you've gotten some version of advice to track your ovulation, time sex perfectly, hit that LH peak window, or maybe you were told to have sex every day. I've heard of people being told to have sex every single day in their cycle or to have sex every single day in their fertile window, and that's so they don't, quote unquote, miss their opportunity to conceive. So, what can happen is you are pushing yourself as an individual and as a couple, and maybe that's actually not the best thing for you and your fertility. So, here's the problem. When you only have sex during your LH peak, or maybe once or twice in your fertile window, you may be missing an opportunity here. So let's break it down. Sperm health and survival matter. And guess what? Sperm can live inside the female reproductive tract for up to 5 days. So that means that regular sex in the days leading up to ovulation can give you better odds than just waiting to get that positive LH peak, where maybe the timing of when you are able to be intimate with each other after that peak, perhaps you've missed that window. But at the same time, too much sex, like daily or multiple times every day, or masturbation as well, can reduce sperm count and quality, especially if there's already a male factor issue at play. So, what's ideal? I mainly recommend for my clients to aim for every other day in the 5 to 6 days leading up to ovulation and day of ovulation or your LH peak. This is why cycle tracking and knowing your fertile window is imperative, while also knowing your natural ovulation signs to look out for. And if you're someone who has irregular cycles, then having a comprehensive cycle tracking system is a must. And I don't just mean tracking with a generic app or using LH strips. Plus, I would highly recommend figuring out the root cause of your irregular cycles so you can address that and help your cycles become more predictable, which is going to help conception happen a lot faster for you. So, that really just comes down to being about 3 to 4 times per cycle in your fertile window, which in reality is not too much and not too little. Because here's the thing, sometimes when you're trying to get pregnant, for months and months and months, or years and years and years, timing sex and having too much sex can have a toll on you, your body, your relationship. Maybe it starts to feel like a chore for you and your partner. Maybe you're exhausted, you become disconnected, and sex just isn't spontaneous and fun for you anymore, which we don't want that for your fertility journey. So, this pressure and performance focused sex can actually backfire. And when it feels like a clinical task instead of connecting with each other, it can spike cortisol. Partners can begin to feel resentful. It can shut down oxytocin, and it can pull your nervous system into a stressed mode and not a fertile mode. So, here's something that we want to be aiming for. We want intimacy to be regular but joyful and not just functional. We want it to be more about connection and less about pressure. And know that regular, relaxed intimacy is more fertile than a perfectly timed, stress filled sexual encounter with each other, okay? So let's recap. Timing matters, but so does frequency. You don't want to wait just for your peak day, and you don't want to be doing it too much either. So, aiming for sex about every other day during your fertile window. Too much sex can lower sperm quality, and too little can miss the window. It's about finding that middle ground there. And connection is going to fuel your fertility journey. So shift the energy around sex from have to want to. This can help regulate hormones and support your body's readiness to conceive as well. And maybe something you and your partner can work on is improving your communication, doing some date nights with each other, just making it fun and reminding each other why you're trying to create life and a child and expand and create the family of your dreams to begin with. So, if sex has started to feel like another item on your fertility to do list, take a breath. You are allowed to enjoy this. You are allowed to relax and to trust, and let this be your permission slip to reset your intimacy, not just for conception, but for the relationship you're building with your future baby already. Thank you so much for listening. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you on our next episode released every Tuesday and Thursday. Are you ready to finally discover why you haven't been able to get or stay pregnant? The Ultimate Fertility Blueprint is a quick, insightful quiz designed to reveal your overall capacity to conceive and help you discover potential root causes and areas to address to improve your fertility so you can finally get and stay pregnant. You'll find the link in the show notes. As a quick reminder and disclaimer, this podcast is for educational purposes only and is not a substitute for medical advice. Always consult your doctor or healthcare provider before starting any new supplement or protocol, especially if you're actively trying to conceive or undergoing treatment.